Hello, good afternoon, and you're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Shell D'Souza as well. But let's look at what the markets are doing this afternoon as well. Nothing exciting there today. We are seeing that the Nifty is down, trading almost at the day's lowest point as of now, below the 20,000 levels again today, and 19,926 is what the Nifty is trading at, down more than 1%. Sensex 2 down almost 1%. And looking at the mid cap on the small cap space, that's also mid cap. When you look at it, a bit of a still not as bad of a performance we're seeing coming in the mid cap space versus the benchmark indices, but small cap that's performing in tandem with the benchmark indices, down almost 1% as well. Nifty Bank, obviously the top sectoral loser that is coming in today is the Nifty Bank. It's down more than 1.3%. While other than that, all the sectors as of now are trading in the red. Only Pharma is a bit on the flip-floppy side, and it's trading almost flattish, flipping and flopping between the red and the green, but otherwise all the sectors trading in the red. Banks, metals, as well as PSU Bank, something clear pressure that is coming in, where PSU Banks were seeing a rally as well. Advance decline ratio clearly in the favor of declines versus the advances. And let's not forget, we've seen heavyweights like HDFC Bank, Reliance falling also. Falls coming in, and these two heavyweights leading to a fall coming in to the Nifty as well, and that is why a bit of a subduedness that we're seeing coming in the market this afternoon, Shedder.
Absolutely, Vinny. Subduedness coming into the market, and it's just not like a midday kind of a phenomena. We have been seeing the downtick continue since the word go. But as you can see it on your screen, at the day's lowest point, that is what the benchmark indices are currently. But this is a show, viewers, where we get you all the stocks that are buzzing based on news flow as well as on technicals. And talking about technicals, right now we have Sumeet Mulchhandani joining us on the show. And along with Sumit, we have a team of researchers, that's Harsh as well as Vamakshi, who will be taking you through all the stocks that are moving in trade today. And firstly, let me start with the OMCs, especially BPCL, that is in focus in today's trading session. And why are all of these counters in focus? Yes, let's not forget the fact that the crude oil prices have been seeing a sharp uptick of late. You had the Brent crude on the day that we were on a break. Brent crude actually hit that $95 to a barrel mark. But you have Jefferies that has come out with a note today on all the OMCs, especially why am I flagging BPCL is the fact that they have gone ahead and actually downgraded the stock to an underperform from a hold rating, and they're saying the estimate EBITDA loss in the second half of FY24 will be on steep marketing losses in the diesel sector. They are also flagging off HPCL as well as IOC in their note. What they are saying is that they are saying the OMCs are already losing 9 rupees per litre on diesel currently, and would lose a combined 45,000 crore rupees in the second half of FY24. This is in marketing and assuming the current Brent as well as the diesel prices. Therefore, they've gone ahead and downgraded BPCL to an underperform rating from a hold rating. They're also saying with the key elections state-wise being in the month of December, there's a possibility of a retail price cut in diesel and gasoline, and that cannot be ruled out, and that will not augur well for any of these OMCs, and it will put further pressure on their finances. On back of that, you have all these three counters that are in focus in trade today, Vinny.
Absolutely, keeping an eye out on all these three counters, but also we have HDFC Bank that is in focus because they did have their analyst day meet. There were a bit of a negative surprises that came in terms of the return ratio expectation, the NIMs going forward as well, some pressure on that front as well. And now what you see in the brokerage notes have actually come out, and whether you look at a Nomura, they've downgraded HDFC Bank to a neutral. They've cut the target price to 1,800 rupees per share from previous 1,970 rupees per share. Macquarie too, they're continuing to maintain the outperform rating on HDFC Bank and given a target price of 2,110 rupees per share. They believe that the merged numbers, some negative surprise that came in, one-time impact on the net worth of is around 5%. But this is a timing difference, what they are highlighting. It may miss the near-term 1.9 to 2.1% in terms of the merged entity return on assets, what they're saying, the guidance that they're given. But overall, going forward, yes, they could start seeing an improvement coming in. Is what the brokerage note is believing, and the brokerages houses are believing as well. Other than that, in terms of the impact in terms of adjustment on the EPS and book value per share is something that could see a bit of an impact in the near term. But long-term story remains strong, is what the highlight is coming in. But yes, as of now, today the stock is down and out in trade, down more than 3%.
Right, that is HDFC Bank for you. Earlier on in the day, we spoke to JM Financial's Samir Bisse, and he says that the near-term margin performance of HDFC Bank is likely to be muted, and it could in fact take 2 to 3 quarters to actually go ahead and normalize. What else did he actually have to say on the bank? Listen in.
HDFC Limited is a tad lower than what most people expected. So to that extent, your starting point of net worth is a bit lower than what you thought. And also the margin drag with respect to the liquidity build-up that you had in run-up to the merger, which is 1st July 2023, is quite sizable. So that may have a further impact on the merged entity margins. And as is the case with such things, it usually takes 2 to 3 quarters for things to normalize. So near-term margin performance could be a bit subdued. So I think these two factors can just impinge on near-term performance is what we think. So I think in the longer term, only two things matter, which is growth and asset quality, wherein obviously they sound quite confident. So I think it's a time to take a slightly 1 year plus view rather than get bogged down by what's happening on an extremely near-term quarter to quarter basis, because it's a big event in the life of the organization, and there are many moving parts which will take some time to settle down.
Okay, that was the view coming in on HDFC Bank. But let's move on and Sumeet, the stock that you've picked up for us today, the first one is Tata Investments. So what are the charts now indicating for Tata Investments? Where do you see this headed in the medium to long term?
Hi, good afternoon to all. So in the Monday session, the stock has gained nearly by the 8%. And given the closing above the resistance of 2550 after a long time, and today it was around one time 4% up. We are expecting a higher movement from the here, and around 3200 and 3600 are the levels. Now we are just waiting for the levels of September 22. So it can touch the new 52-week high and even the new lifetime high. So one can ride the trend and make the fresh entry here also. So 50 moving average is the nearby the support level, which was in the consolidation zone right now. So 550 can act as a support, as a stop loss, and target 3200, 3600.
All right, moving on, Harsh, let's talk about Blue Star. This one is actually soaring in trade today.
Yes, absolutely. Up and away, Blue Star, largely on the back of the fact that they have disclosed a QIP of 1,000 crore for the company. What they are also suggesting is that the floor price of the QIP is 784.5 rupees per equity share. Of course, the current price roughly around that 900 mark. So definitely this price is far lower, and plus the stock's gone up around 12% in trade today, as the graph will show shortly on your screen. 1,000 crore odd is the QIP number, of course, and the start date, opening date for the issue was 18th of September. That's what the QIP details currently are at. So Blue Star and focus on that.
Okay, that is on Blue Star, but let's go across to the Mirror Now Summit, which is in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, and listen into what's happening over there.
The state. It is due to the single determined focus of our Chief Minister and his consistent guidance.
So are you telling me that 20 lakh farmers in the state right now are exclusively involved in sustainable agriculture? Is that what you're saying?
25 lakh farmers, they are registered with us, and we benefit them by using various schemes. The largest scheme is our direct benefit transfer, the input subsidy scheme, and of course then there are landless people also, landless laborers. They are covered under a separate scheme. More than 3 lakh people, they are covered under a separate scheme. Then the people who do not have the land or may have the land but they rear cattle, they are covered under a separate scheme. So the whole gamut of universe is to say each and every segment of rural economy is covered.
लेकिन शर्मा जी, किसान को कन्विंस भी तो करना पड़ेगा ना. सबसे पहले किसान को कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट जो है, ग्रीन इकोनॉमी है, आगे जाके आपको बेनिफिट करेगी और आगे जाके आपके बच्चों को बेनिफिट करेगी. तो वो कन्विंस करने का जो सिलसिला है वो कहाँ से शुरू हुआ और क्या वो खत्म हो गया है या और कन्विंसिंग बाकी है?
देखिए, किसान जो है छत्तीसगढ़ में कम से कम लगभग 80% लोग डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली जुड़े हुए, 70% तो डायरेक्टली जुड़े हुए हैं और उनके पास उनकी स्मृतियों में गई नहीं है बात. They still have their memory of doing their kind of persistent permaculture, sustainable agriculture and so on. तो सरकार ने क्या किया, जो जो सिस्टम में नीड गैप बढ़ते जा रहे थे उसको पूरा किया. जैसे ऑर्गेनिक एग्रीकल्चर करने वाले लोगों को ये पता नहीं था कि ऑर्गेनिक मटेरियल, ऑर्गेनिक इनपुट्स कहाँ से आए. सरकार ने गौठान में 30 लाख क्विंटल, इट्स अ ह्यूज अमाउंट, 30 लाख क्विंटल ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइज़र प्रोड्यूस करके दे दिया. और हर गांव में एक ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइज़र प्रोड्यूस करने का एक गौठान, एक फैक्ट्री है जहां महिलाएं बना रही है. तो उनको और कहीं खोजने जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं, इट्स राइट ओवर देयर. दूसरा, किसान जो प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है वो सरकार खरीद रही है. तीसरा, जो छोटे किसान हैं वो 4 महीने 5 महीने किसान होते हैं, उसके बाद कारीगर हो जाते हैं. दे बिकम आर्टिजन. So agrarian, artisan and artist. These are the 3 cycles of Chhattisgarh's citizen in the village. तो जो किसान है वही कारीगर में बदल जाता है, कारीगर जो है वही कलाकार में बदल जाता है और इस तरह से ज़िंदगी चलती है. तो ये जो कारीगर है किसानी के बाद जो बचा हुआ है, उसके लिए सरकार ने गांव-गांव में रूरल इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क बनाया है कि भाई आप बड़े ही हैं, आइए यहाँ पर, ज़्यादा अच्छी मशीनें यूज़ करिए, टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं, बेहतर प्रोडक्शन करिए और सरकार उसको खरीद रही है. सी मार्ट चालू किया गया. तो ये जो है 1 साल हुआ इस योजना को शुरू किए, 300 हर ब्लॉक में 2, 300 जगहों में शुरू हुआ है. 1 साल के अंदर 11,000 एंटरप्रेन्योर इनरोल्ड हुए हैं. और अब वो जो गांव-गांव में किसानी के साथ साथ जो कारीगरी होती थी, जैसे लोहारी के पास लेथ नहीं था, और बेचारा पीटते पीटते लोहा को थक गया था, अब लेथ दिए जा रहे हैं. महिलाओं को बहुत सारे बुनकरी की चीज़ें दी जा रही हैं. तो ये जो सारी चीज़ें हैं, ये सरकार का एग्रीकल्चर, उसमें 2 हिस्से हैं. एग्रीकल्चर के बाद ऑफ फॉर्म और ऑन फॉर्म, ये दोनों चीज़ों में सरकार सपोर्ट कर रही है. सरकार ने जो गोधन न्याय योजना शुरू की है, उसका एक छोटा सा इंडिकेटर जो बहुत लोग बताते नहीं है, 4 साल में 5 लाख लीटर दूध का उत्पादन बढ़ा है. लोग कहते हैं
5 लाख क्विंटल,
5 लाख लीटर दूध
का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा है
छत्तीसगढ़. ये जो डेटा है ये बताता है कि डेयरी कितनी सस्टेनेबल हो गई है. छोटा किसान डेयरी करता है, 2 गाय, 3 गाय, 5 गाय. जब काऊ ड्राई हो जाती थी, उसको खिलाने का पैसा किसान के पास नहीं होता था. अब वो जो गोबर खरीद रहा है, एक गाय 10 किलो गोबर देती है डेयरी के अंदर, तो 20 रुपये उसको रोज सरकार दे रही है. उस 20 रुपये से उसका चारा आ जाता है. और नए गरीब किसान के लिए यदि 10 गाय पालता है तो 200 रुपये ड्राई काऊ को खिलाने के लिए नहीं होता था. और वो जो पैसा आ रहा है गोबर का, वो एक साइक्लिक इकोनॉमी में वापस फर्टिलाइजर बन के किसान के खेत में ही जा रहा है. तो इस तरह से ये चीज़ें एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट में खड़ी हुई है.
डॉक्टर कमलप्रीत, यू नो वी ऑफन टॉक अबाउट सक्सेस स्टोरीज. 4 साल हुए हैं छत्तीसगढ़ को एफर्ट है 4 साल पहले शुरू हुआ. एक जो सक्सेस स्टोरी जिसके बारे में बहुत बात हुई है वो है दांतेवाड़ा की सक्सेस स्टोरी, राइट? जहां पे 110 के करीब गांव फुली ऑर्गेनिक है.
दंतेवाड़ा एक फुल्ली ऑर्गेनिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है और नेचुरली हम वहाँ पे जितना भी फर्टिलाइजर, केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर वगैरह सप्लाई नहीं करते. और साथ ही साथ वहाँ के जो ट्राइबल्स हैं उन्होंने एक एफपीओ के माध्यम से खुद को ऑर्गेनाइज किया है और वो एफपीओ उनके जो प्रोडक्ट्स है, चाहे वो सेंटेड राइस हो, मिलेट.
And that was an interesting debate or other interesting topic being discussed at the Mirror Now Chhattisgarh Summit, Vinny, talking about the sustainable agriculture development that has been happening in the state. But on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. More on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, and you're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now let's keep it going with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. And Sumeet, coming to you, you've picked out Suntech Realty. That's the next stock. And when you look at it in the last 6 months, 43% return is what we have already seen coming in. What is the target now that one should keep for Suntech Realty?
We have advised the stock at nearby the 340 levels and given the target of 430 which achieved today. But still it is looking good. If you check on the daily 2 weeks prior, it has given the daily flag breakout, and afterward it is in the continuous up momentum. So still 430 is the good level, and one can take the retest of nearby the levels of 410. So we would just advise to continue the momentum and hold the stock. It can achieve the levels of 480. If anybody wants to make a fresh entry, can do at the current market price, as it has formed a inverted head and shoulders pattern yesterday and given the breakout. So 480 will be the next level, and 400 will be the stop loss.
All right, moving on. Vamakshi, coming to you. Power Grid, NTPC, both of these power names, why are they in focus?
Well, both of these counters are powering in trade today, and that is on the back of a brokerage note that has come from Jefferies. And what Jefferies has highlighted is the fact that renewable energy, the annual capacity run rate, is expected to pick up nearly 2.5 times in FY23 to 26, that is over the next 3 years, as compared to the last 10 years seen between FY10 to FY20. Thermal capacity addition is also expected to move to nearly 17 gigawatts annually from just around 2 to 5 gigawatt run rate that we had seen since FY18. Power transmission bid pipeline is also expected to nearly triple on a year-on-year basis, and that is the reason why we have a whole host of power counters in focus. In fact, Jefferies has highlighted that NTPC and Power Grid are some of the stocks that do form a part that are a part of its top picks. As far as Power Grid is concerned, specifically, they will be considering an issue of unsecured redeemable NCDs, and that will be under the private placement basis. So that is another reason why Power Grid is also on our radar. So largely on the back of this brokerage note that has come in from Jefferies, a positive one, and that's the reason why we're seeing a very good move on Power Grid, up nearly 2%, while NTPC is also trading in the green.
Okay, let's move on. And Sumeet, coming to you for stock number 10, that is Bank of India. Now, when you look at it in terms of the stock number 7, I beg your pardon, that's Bank of India that we're going to talk about. What is it that you're indicating in terms of Bank of India's charts? We've already seen a very good run up in these banks. Still more upside left for you?
No, we will just advise to book some here, because Monday and today's session, if you will check, both the candles are same, and it is a type of inverted hammer and got a perfect rejection from the levels of 112 and 114. So we would just advise to make an exit here if somebody is in the profit zone. So just wait for the lower levels for the re-entry, and it is a perfect short candidate also. If we are getting the close below the Monday's low, that is around 105, currently also trading around 105, then it can lose till the levels of 95, that is around 10%. So a short candidate and an exit for the retail participant if anybody is having the profit.
All right. Actually, Vinny, I know you're going to talk up next, but let's just quickly take the note of the market, because the fall has actually accelerated in the markets, where you have the Nifty that has now slipped below the 19,900 mark. It slipped below those levels. So the fall in the markets has actually accelerated quite a bit. Let's take a look at that. And also flashes on the bottom of your screen on Adani Green. Total Energies will be investing about $300 million in JV company unit. We'll get some more details on that particular front. So watch out for Adani Green. But yes, as you can see it on your screen, that the Nifty has in fact slipped below the 19,900 mark.
Absolutely, and just last week we were seeing that 20,000 mark, so important that 19,900 just in a day that we've lost, and a sharp fall coming in the markets there as well. But okay, on that note, we're going to sip in a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after this break.